So once you make up your mind that you're tired of the way your life is or the paradigm, that's when the change occurs. That's when the paradigm shifts for you, man. It's not going to shift until you make a decision to make up your mind. And that goes with anything you want. You want money, you want love, you want abundance, you even want to win the lottery, and you want to do all those things. You got to make up your mind. You got to decide. When that decision comes, that's when your paradigm changes. Then you got to believe. You got to believe it if you don't believe. Man, how do I believe if I don't believe? Force the belief. Think about it. Build the repetition of it. Because your subconscious mind is so stupid, so to speak. It will take everything you say and it will bring it into your fruition. I keep saying, this is a simple game. It's just about believing it, man. You got to believe you're going to do it. And I say this too, look, the more certain, the universe works with certain laws, right? You see, maybe I made some YouTube shorts on this, you've probably seen it too in the reels. But the universe works with certain laws that are exactitude and they never fail. The universe laws never fail. The more certain you are that you're going to get what you want, the more certain the universe is going to deliver it to you. Yeah, the rain is here, so I'd speak a little bit more. Hopefully you can hear me well because the rain. But you guys got to remember that. A lot of people don't make up their mind. They're still in a stagnant flow state. Stagnant. Because, people don't make up their minds because people don't know what they want and people don't believe they can get what they want, or people don't believe they deserve what they want, or people just think it's out of their reach. But let's take, for example, money. Let's look how money works. The thing about money is your brain can make infinite amounts of money. There is no cap system in the mind and the brain when it comes to money or anything like that. I always tell you this, guys. Look, you got to listen to this. You have a limitless mind, but you have limited beliefs. I repeat that. You have a limitless mind, but you were bestowed with limited beliefs. The beliefs put your mind in a cage, and then your mind can't see the outcome of what it wants. So, if you want to get this stuff to work, let me tell you the secret. The secret is get out of the past, get out of the future, and get into the moment. I wonder if anybody knows what he means by the moment or being in the present. Get out of the moment. Get into the moment. Alexla asks, can you talk about how to use affirmations properly? Right. So affirmations, if you think of the root word affirmation, it means to affirm something to be true, right? That's what affirmation is. Something to be true. If you affirm and you say, today I am going to the grocery store. That is going to be true because you're going to the grocery store. You know you're going to the grocery store, right? So an affirmation is to affirm something to be true. So here's when affirmations are more effective. An affirmation, even the question form affirmations that we talk about, and I'm teaching you guys how to use those. Those can only be effective when you're in the moment. Your point of power is always in the present moment. So whenever you're going to do affirmations, your mind have to be centered in the moment. You cannot do affirmations and thinking about the past or thinking about the future. All right, check this out. That's how you use affirmations. Why am I so wealthy? Why am I so successful, as you say? How would it make me feel to be wealthy? How would it make me feel to be successful? What will my life look like as a wealthy person? Da 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 da. Those type of ways you want to do affirmations. Right. Mystic Lady Tarot says, 77 says, why is my life so perfect? Yeah, but you don't say why is my life so perfect. You have to say why is my life so perfect in every positive way. Remember, we're dealing with the subconscious, so your words got to be a little bit more directed to your unconscious mind. You don't want to leave vagueness to the mind, because your mind is not that it's not a logical mind, so you don't want to leave vagueness. You really want to be on point with the mind. You know, let me show you something else you got to think about. Whenever you are visualizing your goals or whatever you're doing, you know, you think you're looking into the future, right? Because you say, I'm visualizing this, Mark, I'm doing this. So you may say, well, I'm in the future, right, Mark? That's the future, right? Nope, it's not the future. It's the now. Okay, let me get somebody coming on here. Who's this? Who's this? Matt Gong. I'll probably get that later. All right. It's not the future. Let me show you what's happening here. Whenever we visualize something, it's our ego that may tell you you're in the future. That's actually incorrect, because there can't be a future. It doesn't exist. It's impossible. Everything comes now. But see, in the conscious mind, there isn't that impossibility, because it uses linear or logical, what we call the time stuff. So when you're seeing the future in your mind, right, you think it's the future. But check this out. There's another part of your mind that's observing this image, which is the subconscious mind. So in your subconscious mind, it sees the conscious future as the current present. So one mind is seeing a future, the other mind is seeing the present. Okay, that's number one. Number two now, the future you see will never come exactly the way you see it. It's a blueprint. That future is controlled by your unconscious mind. And check this out. No matter how you visualize something, how good the visualization is, right? When it happens, it will always be better than you were visualizing it. Did you know that? It will 100% always be better than you visualize it. The reason is this. In the mind can project images and things. But remember now, in the mind, there is no experience in the mind. There's only like a feeling in the mind. You see, so the mind can put all these negative or good stuff in you and say, oh, it'd be good. But here's what happens. When the thing happens in the present, that's where you're going to get the physical experience of it. And when you get the experience of it, the body's going to the body now. Think about when you feel good. You ever got like a massage, or you drink a nice cup of tea, you just feel good. So when your manifestation comes in the present, it will always be better than what you visualize in what you call the future. And how do I know this? Because I'm a perfect example of this happened. Remember, I told you guys, I said, when I won the lottery, and whenever I visualize it, it happened, the car thing, when I won the Fantasy 5 and all that stuff, I told you that, look, it manifested exactly the way I saw it in my visualization. But if you listen carefully, I also said, when it happened in the present moment, it was a feeling that I could never explain. It was beyond euphoric, and I was trying to put it into words. I said, man, it was a feeling like, it felt like I was out of my body, in my body. It was just a feeling. The actual experience was so much better than it was actually in my mind. See how you see how that works? Someone asked me here, who's this? Hirana Pawar. Also, does in each parallel universe we have the same soul or different? Right. So in each parallel universe, it's like this. Here's how it works. So let's say you have a twin, right? You were born and you have a twin. Your twin doesn't have the exact same, it's not you, it just looks like you. But you can relate to your twin, right? you can feel your twin because you guys have this connection. It's the same way with your parallel self in that universe. So you are connected, but you're also unique individuals, but you are connected. So the soul of that version of you, the thing about the soul is this, the soul is infinite. So when we go to parallel universe and we talk about the soul is one thing, just experiencing a fractal of that. So it's the same soul, but you're going to have a different experience as a human being, just like you have a twin. The thing about twins is if you ever have a twin, twins are always more connected than like a brother or sister. And they've done research on this where they have identical twins. One twin could be over here and he could be thinking, he knows what the other twin is thinking. It will be like that connection. All right. I am vibrating on a millionaire mindset. That's a good one. So what is a millionaire mindset? What is a millionaire mindset? Or what is the money mindset? How do you vibrate on a money mindset or a millionaire mindset? That's a good one. Someone mentioned they're vibrating on a millionaire mindset. The body is a subconscious mind. Yes, the body is the subconscious, but the subconscious is the body is part of the subconscious. The subconscious is a more grander system. But yeah, but listen, whenever you're going to manifest something, right, your body will know before your mind knows it's going to come into reality, because your body will feel it. That's why someone asked me, say, man, how do I know when my manifestation is coming? How do I know when I'm on the right track? You're going to always know when you're on the right track, because you're going to feel it. It's going to feel different. You're going to feel like the uniqueness. You're going to feel a different state. You know, so it's a very, you got to be in tune with yourself. You know, anything you want to create in your life, it has to start with you doing something. It either has to start with you making a choice, making a decision, making up your mind, changing your beliefs. You have to do to initiate it. You know, like a mirror. If you look in a mirror, you see yourself. But if you raise your hand in the mirror, it's you, right? So you're doing something. So it's like the same thing. If you want to find love, you gotta have love in yourself first, because everything reflects back. You want to have money, you gotta have money with yourself first. It's a mindset. It's a state of being thing. The state of being is in the moment, in the present. You know, that's where your point of power lives and resides. Always remember this. Whenever you see an image in your head or you're visualizing, you're never visualizing in the future, because it doesn't exist. Anytime you visualize anything, your mind accepts it as it's happening in this moment. Your conscious mind tells you a lie. It says that's over there, that's tomorrow. Keep in mind, tomorrow and everything is a made-up system. We have calendars that are made up. You have things that are made up. It's not what we call reality. Does that make sense? Right. Someone says I'm a twin. That's good. Hello, chosen ones. Yeah, there's what someone says. Mystical said there's a documentary on identical strangers as well. Yeah, everyone's connected. But when you have twins, it's kind of like that with the parallel universe thing. It just works that way. I feel energized. You can get love if you believe others just love you. Although self-concept is vital, feeling is good. That's correct. Wealth mindset. I always provide value in many ways, and money follows you with ease. Yeah, the thing about money is, and we want to get on that wealth vibration, is people think you got to work, to work hard to get money, or work hard for your dreams and your purpose, or whatever it is. It doesn't work like that. The laws don't work like that. The universal laws are always on point, and they never fail once you know how to tap into them. So let me show you something about this stuff. If you want to get money into your life, okay, the first thing you have to do is understand and get the open mindset that you don't have to work hard for money. That's number one. You got to know that. The second component is there is more than enough money to go around for you and for anyone else. Let me repeat it. The two things you got to know about money to get your mindset in on what someone says a millionaire mindset here. This is so important. Number one, you cannot and you don't have to work hard for money. Number two, there is always more than enough money for you and for anyone else. If you can get those two concepts, you're halfway there to having a wealth mindset. Wealth mindset is going to lead to what? Wealth experiences. Remember what I told you before, right? I said if you want to be rich in the world, you got to be rich in the mind. And rich doesn't mean just money alone. It means everything, you know. Money's part of the equation, but rich means health, happiness, your self-esteem, all of that stuff. Your self-esteem is even more important because a rich self-esteem is always going to bring you everything. Money and all that stuff comes in with a rich self-esteem. So if you want to be rich in the world, you got to be rich in the mind. Now, you don't have to work hard to make money. And let me show you why. Because the thing about all this is everything that you want around you, the career, the thing you want, it's not missing. It's not lost. It's not something you got to go and find or create it. There's nothing in this world that you and I have to create. We don't create stuff. It's impossible to create stuff. When we manifest, when I talk about manifest, I don't talk about creating. I'm talking about aligning with something that's already created. With the law of attraction, spirituality, everything, there's nothing to create. It's impossible to create because there's nothing that, but the thing is, everything is energetic based. We are molecules and we're made up of information, and we are energetic, what we call components, right? So within this component of energy, the atoms and the protons, what happens with these particles, or just let's just call them energy, they don't have a beginning. They don't have an end. So that means it's impossible to create something because everything is already being created. I got to repeat that because I don't think people understand that. The reason people don't get this is because we've been taught, like, and it's nothing against us, it's just how our world works. We're used to seeing things in creation. We're used to seeing beginning and end. And maybe we see, if you see a seed in a tree, it's growing and all that. That's not creating, man. That's transforming. So you don't create anything, you transform, or you bring into what you create. So the thing is, with money, a lot of people think they have to create it, and that's where the resistance comes in. And that goes with all your dreams and your hopes and your desires. People think they have to create stuff. You never create anything. What you want has already been created. It's here, right now, in front of you and I. It's right in front of this space I'm talking to you. But you cannot see it because you just haven't evolved enough to see the invisible. But it's there. So what you do is, since you can't see it, you use the next powerful part of you, which is the mental, feelings, emotional map. That's what's now going to create that frequency to match the thing that was hidden from you to come into the light. See how it works? How does Mercury in retrograde affect us? Well, the thing about the Mercury in a retrograde, see, and this is another thing about us, we're a collective consciousness, a collective subconscious. So this has been beat into our minds in the collective subconscious. So yes, the Mercury retrograde is real. And the reason why it is real is because it has already been programmed in everybody's minds. So that means now, I think it starts now, So now everyone in the collective has the idea that things are going to go quacky and quirky. So that's what's going to happen. So yes, so at this time they always say, you know, check your devices, you know, things will start to go quacky, communication will be a little weird. If you have really big decisions like signing like huge contracts or anything like that, just wait off, because the party might not know it. But yeah, during this time, there's going to be a lot of weird stuff happening. And that's because it's been downloaded into our collective subconscious that this is the time things to go trippy. So we all affect each other, so it is. So with the retrograde, you just chill, relax, and just go with the flow. Holistic Heaton. Hey Heaton, how you doing? Like the game The Sims, then the entity outside can either grant your desires. That's right, Heaton. Oh yeah, so Mystic says, oh boy, it's real, all right. Of course, yeah, because we all contribute to it. We're all in that thing. You gotta do all that. You gotta tune into that stuff, man. Mark, talk about spiritual ascension from 3D to 5D. Certainly. So everyone. So the first thing you want to know, guys, you're going to always transform, okay? Nothing ever stays the same. The only constant thing in the universe is change. Change is going to happen whether you like it or not. So you're either going to go with the change or you're going to resist the change, but the change is still going to happen. So it comes with us as human beings. Every human being, we're going to go through a change or a transformation. And that's what we call spiritual awakening. For the majority of the population, the majority may experience it at some point, but a lot of us must experience it, because that's why we come here. We are that. So if you're watching this, you're part of that, and millions and billions of other individuals are. But what is a spiritual ascension? A spiritual ascension is it can be a very tough point in your life, because what happens when you go into a spiritual ascension or a spiritual awakening, it's going to affect the mind and the body. And a lot of your emotions are going to go off sync. In your head, things are not going to make sense to you, but that's all a part of the tuning of it. So that's something you have to understand, that you're always going to be in a growth. So what happens now, so the thing that makes a spiritual ascension so tough for a lot of people is because of the conscious mind. See, the conscious mind is tied into what we call the 3D world. That's the physical world of reality, where we can see and experience stuff. Now, your authentic self isn't tied into a physical world. It's up into what you call the 5D world, or higher consciousness. So what happens in a spiritual ascension is the 3D breaking away and going into the 5D. And that's where the pain, the depression, the loneliness, all of that comes in, because you're what's happening, you're attempting to break free from the ego. But unbeknownst to us, you cannot break free from the ego. It's impossible. That's where the struggle comes in. So what we do, we're trying to move up to get away from our ego. So you can't kill your ego. So what happens now, since you understand that we can't destroy the ego, what we can do, we can transform the ego into a more higher spiritual version. You're still going to have a lot of the 3D perspective from the ego, but you'll have more of a more spiritual minded ego. And yes, your ego can become a little spiritual, because it observes and watches things. Remember, just like your subconscious, your ego can be programmed. I mean, it was programmed when you were a kid, so it definitely can be programmed even when you're an adult. So I don't know if you know that, but you can kind of get your ego to be kind of your friend. So that's basically what a spiritual ascension or a spiritual awakening is when you move up from that point and you move into the higher point. Now, I want to go back to the abundance thing, the money thing we're talking about. So if you understand that you don't have to work hard, and that, you know, the money is more than enough for you, the next step now is to get your beliefs on track, or what you call your paradigm. And you're not going to get anything if you don't believe. It's just not going to happen. So the secret is you have to start to build up beliefs that are like what we call serving you, or beliefs that are going to help you get what you want. The great thing about beliefs are they are so easy to build. And guess what? They're actually easy to get into your subconscious. But I could say the bad side about beliefs again is they are so easy to build, and they're so easy to get into your subconscious, because now you can get so much limiting beliefs. So what is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is basically what it sounds like, a belief that doesn't serve you and that shows reality in a skew way. It actually shortens your ability to use your limitless mind. It makes your mind limited. Hence, limited belief. And we all have a lot of that. That's very prevalent. And that's what holds us back, and that's what keeps us stuck. So if you want to build beliefs, the secret recipe to building a belief is to use your thoughts. Thoughts become a belief. Are you aware of that? It's magical, but it's a little lonely. Professor Goodfield said, this transition sucks. Sucked eggs at first, and I wanted to go back, but it does get easier. Yes, it will get easier. I mean, once you're aware of something, you can't go back to become unaware of it. You can't go back to become unaware of it. And yeah, social circles are changing. Someone commented that. Medicine Rest says, what's up, Mark? Hey, how you doing, my friend? Hi, Mark. Can I please have your insight on why things are going wrong, and why am I losing my friends as well when I keep seeing 447? Everything is just breaking down. Well, who is this here? This is P. Castery. Well, welcome to your spiritual awakening. That's what happens when you start to become, when you get out of the cocoon. That's when you start to come out of the shell. It's going to happen. You're going to have disruptions in your life. Things don't happen to you, things happen for you. You will never be able to see the full picture, and it's okay. So be in the moment, experience what you experience, focus on what you want. You're going to change it. It's going to happen. There are people going to fall in your life, people are going to come in your life. Things are going to be good, things are going to be bad. I'll go back to the belief thing here. Yeah, so a thought will create a belief. And I'm going to go back to what I talked about things coming into your life. So if you want to build a belief, you have to build a thought over and over again. And then that thought will become into the subconscious, and it becomes your belief. Now I want to talk about this because this is interesting here. The thing about good and bad. So something I've learned. This may be very controversial, but this is actually what it is, though. So did you know there's not actually anything that's good or bad? It's just is. Actually, there isn't any problems as well. They're just perceptions of problems. You know, two people can have what you call an experience, but one of them, it may be a problem, the other one, it may not. And they're having the same identical experience. See, it depends on your perception or how you perceive something. And that's what this is what this all boils down to. It's how good are you at taking that negative or that bad thing and flipping it into a more positive perception. You don't have to go all the way good, but you got to get it to a point where it doesn't affect you. It has to be a point where it's something that's going to empower, teach, inspire, something like that. You got to do that, because life is always going to do that. Life is always going to throw what you call the wrenches or whatever you call it into your life. Mark, is it possible to receive a manifestation you desire years ago? Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is what I want to teach you guys. You see what happens here? This is a perfect example. We associate what we want on a time scale, like it's going to run out. Nothing ever runs out. Nothing can run out. The dream you had 4 years ago will still come true, because there's no such thing as 4 years ago. It's a perception thing. As long as you are certain, the more certain you are that you're going to get it, the more certain the universe is going to make you get it. That's how the laws work. The secret really is, how certain are you that you're going to get your desire? That's it. That's what I look at. Look back, and when I'm thinking on anything I want, I just say to myself, Mark, how certain am I that I'm going to get it? And I decide I'm certain I'm going to get it. And then what I do is, I don't harp on how I'm going to get it, because I know that's a trap. I just say to myself, man, this is what I want. Yeah. That's what I desire. Yeah. All right. I'm certain I'm going to get that. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I don't really care, man. But I'm certain that's going to come to me. Boom, you're going to come to it. Medicine RXX. I'm at the casino right now. What are some tips to predict the next number in roulette? Here's a tip. You're in a casino. Okay. Look at the roulette table. Look at everybody around you. Watch the first play. Don't do anything. Then take that reality, put it in your head, and create your own mental view in your head. And then put your own numbers in that you want to see come out, and then that's what's going to come out in the next play. TT Sabrier. Hola, I manifested my trip to Dominican and joined this beautiful resort. Oh man, that's awesome. Mark, do I not forget the numbers that I dream of? Wait, Mark, how do I not forget the numbers that I dream of? Please help. If you dream of numbers, what I always do, I always put a notepad next to my bed to remind my subconscious to remember them, and they'll come back again. But if you dream of numbers and you forget them, they weren't really that relevant, because when they're really relevant, you won't forget them. They'll just flash. So I wouldn't worry about that. They'll come back again. Hey guys. To change our beliefs, this is from Wexler. Hey Wexler, to change our beliefs, we have to get away from limiting people and surround ourselves with limitless thinkers. Yes, that's 100% correct. Someone says it sucks when you have manifestations that don't come through, but I feel they are necessary to shake out any disbelief we still have. No fear, no doubt now. Yeah, your manifestations, that when you focus on something, the universe will bring it to you the best way that's perfect for you. And you're right on point, Wexler, about your beliefs in people. The thing is, you got it. The biggest block in our lives, I always say this, it's our subconscious, but it's not real. There's bigger blocks than that. It's people, man. There are just some people in our lives that aren't good for us. They're just gonna bring us down, and we have to make decisions and choices. Like, okay, do I want to get where I want to go, or you have to learn to limit the toxicity with these people. it becomes a very, very delicate thing. You got to remember that. Hey Mark, how do I know I'm manifesting from my gut or if I'm just feeling nervous? Okay, if you feel nervous, then more likely it's not from your gut. When you're going to manifest stuff, when stuff are going to come into for you, you're not going to feel any nervousness. You're not going to feel like anxious or anything. You're going to feel like this calm in your gut. It's going to feel like just a normal thing. Now, I'll say this, though. Keep in mind, though, here's the thing, though. Your intuition, though, will use maybe nervousness to warn you or to give you, to tell you something's going to happen. So you got to understand the differences between the body and the mind. So, because that's how your intuition works. Right? Yeah, everything just is. Whatever happens in this world is how we perceive the situation. I mean, you know. Cena, Mark, do you think the lottery is about luck or something else? Absolutely not. I mean, the lottery is definitely not about luck. I mean, I've proven that. I've won the lottery a lot of times, and I didn't do it by luck. When I first won the Fantasy 5, that wasn't luck. That was a deliberate creation. So you can deliberately create anything. There's two things that you can do. You live in a world that's entangled together. You live in a world that's deliberately created, and you live in a world that's on a default creation. Two people live in that world. Those are the ones that could deliberately create what they want, and the other ones who live in the world of what you call chance or luck. Those two worlds exist. But to answer your question, do I think the lottery is about luck? No. You can deliberately create it. All you have to do is know the laws. And the first law is you have to be certain that you know you're going to win. You got to believe it. You got to apply the principles. You got to apply what it takes to win. And then you have to set it and forget it and move on with your life. Who's this? Evil Eye 222 says, serious question. If I have a serious mental breakdown and say something like, yep, okay, I want to what? Why is my life so terrible? Does that manifest even though I was in a moment of mental weakness? No, guys, look. Whenever you're stuck in like a negative loop or what I call negativity, it's not going to manifest that easily. It's okay, you're going to have negative thoughts. It's a part of your life. Negative patterns is part. So when things manifest, it's because it's a routine. It's a repetition. It's a continuation. If you do that thing over and over again for a period of time, then it becomes impressed in your subconscious, and then you may start to see evidence of that stuff. So a few times when you're in a few weakness or moments, it's not going to manifest. What does it mean when in the back of a lottery ticket there's an 888? I mean, that's a great sign that you're on the winning course. I've noticed some of my tickets, when they have these very high numbers, positive numbers, those tickets turn out to be winners. There are actions that people do that can cause pain to other people. People's actions come with consequences, either positive or negative to you or others. Child molesters, invalidating and causing people pain. Yes, that's correct. But key point again, you got to remember, guys, that it's not what happens to you, it's what's going to happen for you. So you can look at these things, because I mean, look, there's just so many people, many of you guys, you have like traumatic childhoods. We've all been there, have traumatic stuff, abuse, all that stuff. But if you look back in retrospect and you say to yourself, you know what, I feel that, I forgive that person, I forgive myself, and that thing that happened, you know what, it's going to make me this, it's going to make me that. Your mind will actually buy into that. And that feeling of that shame and that guilt or that thing, it'll actually start to change. And you'll actually release that trauma. and you release that trauma, man, that's a great step, because now your life becomes better. You're more open, you can trust more, you can take more calculated risk. You know, your life just becomes overall better because you have more freedom and you are able to just be more open, right? Hey Mark, can you explain to us more about what this broke up here? Yeah, you got to do that. A man won a large amount of money via the UK lottery in the 90s. He's now homeless, spent the money in ridiculous things and to the mafia. And he said that the money was cursed. How not to lose your head. So I can tell you exactly what happened there, and it happens with a lot of people. Now remember, guys, you're not running on your 3D mind. You're running on a 5D, the higher mind, which don't work, which actually don't live in the 3D. It actually lives in true reality, which is infinite potentials, right? And that's what we call your subconscious mind. So what happens in a majority of individuals is we do a lot of things on our surface level, and we forget that we have an emotional program mind. So most people, they have very limiting beliefs, and the majority of limiting beliefs they have is money's no good, they don't deserve it. So for someone to win the lottery, and this happens quite a lot, when they win from a surface level. And this is where we talk about those two realities entangled, right? I said there's a reality of deliberate or default. In other words, there's a reality of probability, actuality, and there's a reality what you call luck. They are entangled, they're entwined. And each reality is based on what you're perceiving or what you believe on, right? So majority of people, they believe the lottery is a luck game, right? So that means some people will luck up. But for you guys, I'm teaching you that you can deliberately create this stuff. So for most people now, they believe like, okay, man, my world is I can choose my universe the way I want it to be. So with this person, when he won the lottery, the luck thing came in. And what happens? Your subconscious must always prove you to be true. So those beliefs that were held in that person was, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough. Hence, he squandered all that money and lost it. And that's why that statistic is so shocking. That over 50% of lottery winners, big jackpot winners, after 4 or 5 years, they end up broke. Why is that? Because the subconscious still holds the block or the trauma. Until you can go in there and release that stuff, the cycle is going to continue. So if you want to avoid to do that, you got to go and work on the subconscious and find out what's holding you back, and then change it by programming with the affirmations, hypnosis, etc., and things of that nature. Some say to play the lottery every day, and Abraham Hicks says to buy a ticket if you're really feeling the urge. What do you say? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you what worked for me. I won the lottery, not a lot of times, so this is going off of Mark. Now, I've seen individuals who had the feeling and they bought a ticket and they won. I've also seen individuals who had a feeling, they bought a ticket and they lost. So I believe it depends on your unique makeup and what your higher self and what your feelings. But for me, the way I do it, I looked at it as a job, sort of. So I became entangled with the lottery. So for me, it was fun for me to buy my tickets daily. I had my budget, and it was a fun thing. I did that because I wanted to impress my subconscious mind with the reality that this is normal for me, and this is what I want to do, this is what I want to become, or this is what I want to win. So for me, I would buy my tickets daily, and that worked for me, and it's been working ever since. So it just depends on what your makeup is and what you feel. But my reason is because I believe that the act of being there daily, it's impressing in my subconscious mind that, oh, this guy wants this stuff, so this is important for him, so therefore let me put him in the right place at the right time to win. And that's how I won. And it's just like anything you want, you have to repeat it, you have to impress it and do it. Now for some individuals it may work that way because it depends, like I said, on your higher self. But for me personally, that's how it worked for me. Don't manifest large amounts of money until you have prepared your mindset to receive it. I agree. This is a great point here from who's this? Beauty lies in the heart of the soul. Okay, this is excellent, because here's something that you guys may not be aware of. You know, you can still manifest with a faulty map of reality in your subconscious mind. You can still go and manifest what you want. Okay? Don't get it wrong. Your subconscious mind will listen and go help you. But remember, the subconscious mind, after it does that, it has to go back to its default program. So whatever the default program is in the subconscious, it will come back and sabotage you. So yeah, you could go win the lottery, you go get your business, you can do all that stuff. You can get your subconscious mind to do stuff, to manifest stuff. But you got to remember, that's just masking or band-aid on the system, on the symptom. So what you have to prepare your mind to receive it means that you got to go into the subconscious and make sure you clear the block in there. So what happens is, so the subconscious doesn't come back and say, oh, because remember, it's illogical, right? So what it'll do, it'll help you manifest it, but it doesn't know itself, so it has the block. So it'll help you get that job, the career, and then a year later, you're back to square one, and you're like, man, I did this stuff, it worked, Mark, but why am I keep going back? Well, the reason you may keep going back or losing is because you haven't fixed the real problem, which is the programming. So we got to go in and get that program out. So yeah, so work on your resistance, work on your limiting blocks in there. Find out what they are. See how it works? Add a moderator. How do I add a moderator? Okay, maybe I add a moderator. This is from Zia Cherie. So how often do you have to focus on what you want to manifest? Because I keep obsessing about the manifestations, as I am not 100% sure. Okay, so Zia. Okay, number one, can't obsess. Obsess creates resistance. It's going to push away what you want. So when it comes to what you want, don't need what you want so bad. So here's how you fix that. When you're focusing on what you want, turn it into a fun thing. Make it fun, don't make it needy. When you do that, you're going to manifest. But if you obsess, you're going to push it away. Don't need things too much. Let the things need you. That will fix the problem. Does that make sense? You gotta remember, guys, you gotta remember that whatever you want is already here. You're just not experiencing it, right? So there's no need for you to obsess or to need it. Neediness will push things away. Just think about it. When you're needy, like think about a needy person. They turn you off. They call it a thirsty person. Think about like when someone you like, if you like them too much, it's like, oh, but when you just like do your thing, they start gravitating toward you. It's the same thing with your desire. They're just like people. They'll get attracted to you when you kind of let them go, right? They'll run away from you when you get obsessive with them. Zia again says, some manifestations are easier to believe to come true than others. Yes, I agree with that. But that's what I'm teaching you guys, that's a limiting belief though. All things you want are easy to believe. You just have to start to practice the belief. Now, here's the reason why we do that. Here's the reason why things are easy for you. Because the reason things are easy for you to believe is because you kind of know how they're going to come out. The reason things are hard for you to believe is because you can't figure out how you're going to get it. Therefore, you don't even try. You just forget that. So what you have to do is take out the how and just believe. That will fix it. And you'll start to see more progress, results. that work? Lucy, if you're positive a lot of times, does that protect us from the eye, from evil eye and such stuff? Not necessarily. So evil eye and things like that, this is how this stuff works. Look, it comes down to your belief. Point blank is this: if you believe someone put evil eye on you, your subconscious mind is going to create an arena or a reality to show you evidence of that. If you don't believe and no one can put evil eye on you and no one can put spells or anything on you, your subconscious is going to create a reality where no one can put spells or anything on you. We live in a world of beliefs. That's what I'm showing you guys, that your world is a make-up game world. It's whatever you believe. An individual has his own set of beliefs. His subconscious will create an environment to show him evidence of his set of beliefs. And this is why I caution people. I said, look, you got to be careful who you hang around with. Certain people can put their beliefs to affect your beliefs. So that's why it's good to be strong mentally and to have your self-confidence and self-esteem up. Because there are people out there who can damage your belief system. And they cause your subconscious to do what you don't want it to do. So you have the power in your beliefs, guys. Positivity help, but it's about what you believe for you internally. How do we heal trauma, Mark? You have to go revisit the trauma. And then when you revisit the trauma, you got to approach the trauma from a different perspective. You have to see the trauma now as a healing, an inspirational, a teaching moment. You got to do something. You got to look at the perspective and change it where it helps you instead of hinders you. And the trauma will change. How many lotteries have you won so far, Mark? I get this question a lot. There's so many. In 5 years, over 40. Top prize. Oh, what else we got here? How many should I take daily? Okay, this someone else is there. Zia, so how do you deal with checking the ticket and you lost again? You get what I mean? Yeah, I get what you mean, Zia. So I went through that same pattern. So here's what I did. Here's what I discovered. And that's what this is where the concept of time comes in. So when I was playing the lottery, when I played the lottery, now imagine now, when I was started this thing and I was playing the Fantasy 5, I was playing daily, man. So I get tickets every day. So imagine after like a couple weeks, I got this stack of tickets and I'm checking these tickets and all the tickets are just like, most of the tickets are either saying, sorry, not a winner, sorry, not a winner, sorry, not a winner. May get a free ticket here or there, right? So how does my mind process that stuff? So when that was happening to me, I felt it a little bit, but then I realized what was going on. I was like, okay, so I haven't lost technically because I'm still here in the moment and I still have the dream and the desire. So when these tickets are saying, sorry, not a winner, it's not saying that I'm a loser. It's just saying to me that the manifestation hasn't happened yet. So when I look at those tickets, I don't see loser. I just see not yet. Not yet, Mark. Not yet, Mark. So I replace the loser with sorry, not a winner. I replace it with Mark. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. See that? And that's what actually happened. And then guess what happened? One day it came up and it says Mark right now. And I won. So the thing is, I don't take it personal and I don't get attached to it because I know it's a timing thing and I know it's a divine thing. And I know that if I'm certain I'm going to win, I'm going to win. And it's going to happen. So that's how you can approach that. You have to get into the mindset that, look, the abundance is already yours. It's not going anywhere. You haven't lost. It's just not yet. you're one more step closer to that. These are little tricks you got to do this because your mind is going to eat you up. And if you don't do this, you may like to say, forget it. You may be down, you may depressed, and that shows you're still attached to it. So that's how you gotta approach this. You gotta just see the dream, focus on other aspects in your life, live your life, be in the moment, and it's going to happen for you. Mark, do you wait until you have numbers to play, or do you go with quick picks? I usually go with quick picks. Now, right now is okay. The thing is, okay, when I'm focused on the lottery, like now I could go into the lottery, I could focus on it, I can get numbers. But right now I got so much stuff going on. I still do play my lottery, but I'm not locked in as I was before because I got other stuff in my life that I'm doing and I'm creating. But the thing about it is, when I do decide I want to go in, then I could just lock in and I get a number. But every now and then, because the thing about this thing, you're always going to be entangled. So the universe will always throw stuff out to me. So there may be a number I see and I like it and I play it and it will come out. But for right now, I'm just doing the quick picks and I'm just chilling. I'm just going with the flow. I'm just vibing right now. Totally on point, and that's why a lot of lottery winners lose their fortune. Yes, because a lot of winners lose their fortune because their subconscious is still in this state of lack. That's right. Hitting their self-image did not reflect their newfound wealth. Yeah, Zia, this is the Florida weather. It'll rain, and then in 2 minutes the sun will come out. It's like nothing happened. It's cool though. It's pretty hot here. We need some rain. Send some of that rain to Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix is dry. Someone asked here, do you think your visualization work is more powerful than your human design chart astrological sign? That's a great question. I think a lot of people believe that your sign has something to do with your fortune and how you're going to be in your life. But keep in mind this, okay? These are just blueprints. Like your astrological sign is just a blueprint. It's not a definitive thing. So to answer your question, does it play a more powerful part? No, it's just a part. The most powerful part that plays in this is up to your beliefs. It has nothing to do with your sign. Your sign just has a blueprint that says you're more favorable. But remember, even the favorable is about your belief. So it comes down to your belief system. What do you believe is possible for you? And are you certain that what you believe will come true? Even if you can't believe it, you can force yourself to believe it. Try to believe it. If you can't believe it, then jump to the possibility of a belief. This is so important because this is what shapes your world. This is what creates who you are. If you think about it, guys, who you are, what you think of yourself is a belief. The only true thing you have that exists is your awareness of a belief or your awareness of an experience. That's all you have. There's nothing else. You see that? When I get up and I go out and I'm walking, in Mark's mind and head, he has a perception, he has a belief of who he is and what he can do. When you're walking, you have the same thing. And usually, based on what I believe about myself, that's what I'm going to broadcast out to the 3D, to the quantum field. And I'm going to get a feedback of that same thing that's going to represent an identity of myself. But how is all that formed? It's formed in a belief I hold about myself. Can you, Brianna Bennett? Hey, how you doing? Can I elaborate on things should need you? Yes. Okay. All right, let me put it in human perspective. Let's see how I can make this easy for you guys so you can understand this. All right. All right, remember, I don't know. Was there a point in your life, like say you were like, had a crush, or you really like somebody, but the person didn't really like you like that, but they know you like them, right? And then one day, you just got over it. You're like, man, something changed. You started doing something else, and you didn't like them like that anymore. The tables have turned. Now they start to like you and come to you. And you didn't need, see, that's the example of making something need you more than you need them. You give up the attachment to it. You let it go, and you kind of focus on yourself. So when it comes to things, when it comes to people, it works like that. Now when it comes, people are what we call animate objects. They have the intelligence, they can think. That's called animate. Now when it comes to the other stuff, which is inanimate, like physical stuff, like which you need money and all that stuff. So how do you make money need you? How do you make your house physical? How do you make stuff need you? It's basically the same principle. It's a mindset now with the inanimate stuff, with like money. The mindset is this. The mindset is, I always have more than enough money. Money loves to chase me. It's a confidence. You have to be, and I said this before, you're going to have to be a little delusional to get your reality to work in your favor. You got to be cocky a little bit with inanimate stuff, not with people now. People, you don't want to be too cocky, but with things that don't have the consciousness, the awareness, and the thinking ability, you can be cocky. Fine grain. That's how you're going to make those stuff need you. You got to have the mindset like, that's going to come. I know it's mine. I'm certain. You got to act like it's not important, and you got to act like you're bigger than it. You got to bring it down to your level. You got to understand that, oh, that stuff I want, man, is already a part of me. It's going to want me. It's really that simple. If you apply that, then you're going to change what's called your attractor factor. Everybody, every single person here in the entire world, universe, they have what's called their attractor factor. Your attractor factor is basically the amount, your signal to attract. You have high attractor factor, it means you're going to get good stuff. You have low attractor factor. So you got to know and recognize what your attractor factor is. And your attractor factor, I'll give you a secret to let you know if you have high attractor factor. If you want to get high attractor factor, it has to be your self-esteem and your self-confidence. You have to have a good self-confidence. You have to have self-image of yourself. If you don't have that, your attractor factor is going to be low. So you have to build yourself up to believe that what you want is possible. And all of you can do that because you're born to do it. It's just you have limited beliefs. J04U says, Mark, don't you have any blockades anymore? You know what? That's a great question. And there still are some blocks here that I've noticed, but no one's perfect. You got to continue to work on it. But I'm aware that there may be a little block here with nothing major like I had before. It's the things that the blocks that I have more often now are not a subconscious thing. It's more of an ego, containing my ego thing. It's the battle to keep my ego at bay. But as far as my subconscious blocks are, I don't have any more of those because I worked on those and I took those out, and I'm still doing it. My blocks or my battles right now are more on a conscious, egotistical level. It's a more of a awareness. It's a more of a recognition. It's a more of getting my ego in tune, because your ego will never ever go away. I wouldn't call them blocks anyway. I would maybe call them more like hiccups, so to speak. It's just an awareness that you got to constantly calm and view and things like that. Why does your subconscious mind not understand the word no? Because we made up languages. Your subconscious languages are made up in our life. So as far as your subconscious mind is, everything is happening now. So all creation, everything that ever has been created or will be created is already created. That's why I can't understand no. So when he says no, he says, where's that? It's already created. So that's why it doesn't understand no. It's a language we made up. Remember now, your subconscious came before language, and the universe and quantum physics, quantum theory shows that everything has already existed. So as far as your subconscious is concerned, there's no need. Everything is done. So when you say no, you just can't understand it because it's already there. See how that works? I love how you explain the same questions 1,000 times and still don't get bored to answer them. No, because there's so many more people that are learning and coming in. Mark, I don't want to lose my relationship. You're going to lose your relationship. Point blank. You see that? That's the, you see, whatever, you gotta remember this, guys. This I'm teaching you, how your mind works. Logically, when you say, I don't want to lose my relationship, you think you're going to protect or you're going to, that's logically. But illogically in your subconscious, when your subconscious Mark says, Mark, I don't want to, he hears, Mark, I want to lose my relationship. That's what he hears. I want to lose my relationship. So I always say, whatever you're fighting against, whatever you don't want, you're inviting it, you're attracting it. So it's a very simple game. All you have to do is focus on what you want. So what you really want, this is Tammy Sky 630. Tammy, what you want is, you want, Mark, I would love to maintain my relationship. I would love to have a healthy relationship. I love to continue my relationship. That's what you want, right? So that's what you focus on. Don't say, I don't want to, because then you're telling your subconscious mind is illogical, because your energy is on that. You're prepared. Remember I gave you the example before, and I told you this before? I said it's like two people buy a house in the same neighborhood. Nice neighborhood. The other guy, the neighbor, they have identical house, everything. The other guy now, in his house, he's putting all these security stuff on there, and the neighbor's like, hey man, why are you putting all this security? He's like, man, because I'm scared, man. The news is talking about robbers, and you know, you got to be prepared, man. Better be safe than sorry. You know, someone will come and rob my house. I got to put brinks up. I got all it. And the other guy don't put anything up. He's like, he's just focused on peace, security. And guess what happens? 4 months later, the guy that had all the security stuff, his house got robbed. Why did his house get robbed? He invited it. He was preparing for it. He was putting all the brink stuff up thinking it was going to protect him. But in actuality, his subconscious mind thought it was what he wanted. See? So the things that you're fighting against, preparing against, you're attracting it. It's tricky. It's very tricky. If you don't study the mind and understand the psychology and how what we interpret stuff, you're gonna mess up a little. And that's why you have to learn. That's why learning and exposing yourself to new material helps you. Tammy says, what do I do? Tammy, I just told you. You just focus on a relationship that's healthy. If you're going to say anything, just say, I love for my relationship to continue to be healthy. That's it. Just focus on what you want. Zia, what you want over 40 lotteries? Yeah, 40 lotteries, top prize, you know, anything from 1,000 to 350,000. Mark, I keep seeing 222. Hi Mark, don't know if you answered my question. I had bad connection on my phone today. How can I listen to your subliminals if it's hard for me to fall asleep with any kind of noise? Well, you have to turn them down very low so you can sleep. But they're going to be more effective with sleep. And you know, if you practice and do this over and over, it'll become repetitive and your mind and body will get to it. So you have to figure out a way for you to get more sleep, or get your room or house conducive to sleep. To sleep is very important. I always shrug off and go, must be next time, right? See how that works? Cat Club 777. Mind your mind and chill. That's right. Mind your mind and chill. Yeah. Yes, astrology is real. Just design is gibberish. Human design is gibberish. Yeah, I agree. Astrology plays a part. It's a blueprint part, and there are certain points and things that affect you. But the trump factor in all of this is your belief. Your belief will overcome anything. Listen, guys. Your mind and your makeup is so powerful. Like once you make up your mind, like for example, if you're tired of being broke, if you're tired of being in toxic relationships, if you're tired of whatever it is, if you're tired of that, and you make up your mind and say, look, I'm tired of this, I'm going to change this, that's when things start working for you. That's when your paradigm shifts, because now you've tuned your focus, you've tuned your attention away. Everything in this world is buying for your attention. Your attention is currency. Your attention is more valuable than money. Your attention creates your world. Everything around you is looking to get your attention. When you turn on your TV, what are they looking for? They're buying for your attention. And why do they buy for your attention? Because they know your attention creates worlds. Your attention creates reality. Your attention creates everything. So you have this attention and you don't even know it, and you don't even use it correctly. Most people use their attention in the wrong spectrum. They use their attention on what they don't want. Hence, they'll get more of it. And the crazy, trippy thing about this is they don't even know what's happening because they're on default. They don't understand that it's their attention that is bringing them the stuff they don't want. And all they really have to do is just shift their attention to what they do want in their head, because in the mind creates the world, and then it will change. Now look, it's not going to be instant. I'm not going to say, man, today I start thinking tomorrow. No, it doesn't work that way. It's going to take change. The brain has to adjust, but it will happen. It must happen. Yes, this is always happening with each individual. We're constantly attracting everything. Yeah. Need a podcast. Either IG's messing with you or Storm is causing you to keep pausing. Are you guys getting a pause here too? Oh, it's okay. Probably it's maybe your Wi-Fi, because a lot of comments said they're good. Yeah. Beauty, do you still work, Mark, or have you made winning the lottery manifest in your job? Yeah, winning the lottery has been my job. I've been very fortunate with the lottery wins, and still more to come. So the lottery has gotten me to what I want to do, and investments, and this is my job here, helping you guys, creating content, teaching, coaching, motivating. That's what I do now. But the lottery did it for me. The lottery gave me the money, the cushion to just do what I want to do, to invest, to buy property and stuff like that. So, and I still continue to play the lottery for fun, and I'll keep you posted of always when I get another big huge win. I may put it up, but I don't see the wins. I don't post them so much anymore, because when I do post them, it's because of intuition or to inspire you. Because I mean, you guys follow me for a while, so it's just like if I post them on, people are, oh, why this guy keep posting? He's trying to show off. It's not that. I'm doing it for you, to show you stuff. But you may see me post. The next time I'm gonna post, it'll be a very, very big one. So I'm not gonna post until you see the big one. I'd rather you guys post them. You'll post them. Not what you say, how you say it, right? Does the universe help manage manifestations in a what? In a way? No, you are the universe. You're the one that's doing this stuff. You're helping to manifest it. Okay? Yeah, I think there's this thing that you can come on and share. Did you know about Grab a Void number? I didn't know about the Grab a Void number until recently. What's your daily routine, Mark? I got a lot of daily routines, but I always start off my day. The best way is I'm seeing the routine I'll do. I always start my day off with the mindset that center my mind in the moment and focus on what I want and who I can be of service to. I keep doing it. I think I am 3 Neo says, as humans, I think we have issues with overthinking how certain things work, revolving the topic, manifesting as them. That's absolutely 100% correct. And you got to be understanding too. You got to be cautious and kind to yourselves too, man. You got to remember, you're a human. You're going to make what we call mistakes. And it's a part of the process. But yes, the brain will constantly overthink. Because remember this, guys. According to your brain, and the process information, the conscious mind where your ego resides, it feels it has to preserve itself, to keep itself alive and to keep itself safe. Remember now, it has no access or no awareness of the higher authentic mind. So it's in a 3D capsule world, and it believes that's the only world, and it believes the only way to save itself is to use a projected past and to match a future. And this is where you overthink, because the mind says to itself, I have to figure out how I'm going to get what I want to get and how I'm going to create what I want to create. And that's the problem, because in that mind it doesn't have a lot of options, so it's so limited. And whenever the mind gets stuck, when it can't figure out it, that's where you experience depression. That's where you experience worrying. That's where you get fear. That's where you get anxiety. It's the mind glitching. It's glitching because it's like the process that says, I can't go no more. I can't go no more. And if it can't go no more, you're the one that feels it. And it comes back to you in the form of fear, anxiousness, overthinking, depression. That's basically what happens in the mind. So what I do is I practice not thinking. I practice more awareness. You follow me? I don't think. I become more aware now. Awareness is the highest form of intelligence you're going to have. Because what awareness leads to, it leads to higher consciousness. It leads to more reality opening up for you. Because now you can tap into your authentic self to download more information. In other words, I don't indulge myself in overthinking anymore. When something happens, the mind, let me give an example. Something bad what you call bad happens. Let's say a relationship or something didn't work out. What's the first thing you do? You go back in the mind and you start thinking, why? You replay everything, right? If you didn't get the promotion, well, why? If this didn't happen, you do all that stuff, right? But what I discovered is all that stuff is really crap. It really doesn't matter because it already happened. It's not going to help you. So all I do is I eliminate the crap, and I never think about why it didn't happen or any of that stuff. I just focus on now what's next. Okay, see how I do that? I cut the BS off. Most people don't know they can do that. Guys, you're not obligated to know why. The why doesn't even matter. It's not even important. It's the results. Why didn't I get it? Okay, so when you find out why you didn't get it, when you find out why you didn't get it, does that make you feel better? Obviously not, because you still didn't get it. So people say, oh, it's closure. No, that's not actually closure. That's an illusion of closure. You know what closure is? Real closure? Real closure happens when you shut it out and you realize it's not important and you move on. Because the only thing you have is this moment right now. That's a memory. You're not there anymore. That will save you so much time, so much more peace, so much more stuff will come into your life. Hello, sir. Can you talk about why we fail to manifest? Certainly. The reason people fail to manifest is because they don't believe, they don't decide, they don't expect. That's simple. That's it. That's why you don't manifest. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe it's possible. You don't expect it to work. And the other reason is people don't put in the work to do it. Let's see. I'm going to accept somebody. I was trying to accept one of you guys. I see you guys were sending me to accept you guys. Try again, Professor, or somebody was trying to get me on here. So that's why you fail to manifest, guys. So you could fix that. Oh, I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling afraid and tend to avoid of checking my lottery tickets. Is this a sign of resistance? Yes, big resistance. I was there. Whenever you're feeling nervous, it's like, oh man, you're definitely still attached. So you still got work to do. It'll come though. Just remember, it's not, when it says that you didn't lose, it's just not, it's not yet. Do you play Super Lotto? If I was in California, I would play it, but I'm unfortunately I live in Florida. Actually, you know what? I do have, I have a client years ago. She's in California, and she puts me in a Super Lotto pool they have, and it's been going on for 3 years. So yeah, I do play Super Lotto because she has me in a lotto pool. Renee, now I just do this or a podcast. I have a podcast called Quantum Chosen One Podcast. How do I pick my numbers for Lotto? I do quick picks unless I get dream of numbers. Yeah. Hi Mark, I buy scratch off tickets 1 to 2 a week to don't chase my manifestation. I won almost every week 10-20 euros. My biggest win was 100. Congratulations. Have any advice? Thank you. Oh, my only advice is just to continue doing that and then focus on what you want, how much you want to win, and it's going to come for you. You're on the right track. The win will come, the big one will come. Mark, why do I see number 33 everywhere? It's a spiritual number. It means that something you have to do, a business, an idea that you put down, it's time to start it. So now you know. Mark, does your mistakes affect your manifestation? Will I have to start all over again? No. When you're I use the word creating stuff loosely. I don't want you to get too caught up into the word creating. Creating just means attracting it, okay? But when you make a mistake, it's going to happen. You don't have to start over. You put it on pause and you pick up where you begin. So let me see, someone here has been trying to come in. And then I have to go. Okay, I guess that person didn't. Let's see, I accepted it. Let's see, go live. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. So guys, you see how this stuff works? The universe because the universe will get you more proof. Yeah, that was a good point here. This is from Cosmos Love 9. So look, you gotta remember. See, that's what your beliefs do. Your beliefs force the universe to prove to you that what you believe comes into your reality. So, the power of your beliefs, guys, they are very important. And the thing about the beliefs are, you can choose them right now. This is the easiest thing to do. Like right this moment as I'm talking to you, you can go into your head and say, all right, man, this guy's just telling me this. So let me think about what my life is. Let's say you're someone that you're not good with money or good with love or whatever relationship. That's a belief, right? And now through your life, you say, man, it's not been working. So guess what? You could go flip it right now. You could choose a new belief. You could say, you know what? I'm going to start to believe I'm lucky with money. I'm really good with love. I'm really good with women. I'm really good with men. I'm really good. Da da da. Whatever you think, and then you work. You say that every day. You feel it. You think about it. That's going to become a belief, and then wow, voila, it'll change. It's that simple. That's how it goes. Why does it rain so often in your city? It's the weather, the pattern, the weather pattern, the geographic location between the Atlantic and the Gulf. And, it's tropical, so cycles. Okay. Actually, this is actually the dry season. It hasn't rained. It has been raining in months. So I welcome the rain because it's been so dry here. So it's a good thing. Let's see. Here we have here. All right. You don't necessarily have to believe. This is Leon Love 48. You don't necessarily have to believe your affirmation, but does repetition produce the belief? Exactly. That's what I call. That's why I say, if you don't believe it, you can force yourself to believe it. That's the forcing right there. The act of repeating it every day will get to your subconscious mind, and then the feeling will start to show. That's why I say, even if you don't believe it, believe it. That's what it means. Just do it. Just keep doing like a robot. It's going to get to your subconscious. And that's how it works. You have the power to shape your life right now by how you think, what you perceive, how you perceive it, what you say, what you believe. And here's the kicker. You can easily right now choose a belief that serves you, and it will start to work in this very moment. Mark that down.